Hello, this is David Cherry, and today what I'm going to do is discuss getting table fields using PHP and MySQLi. And anyway, this is the result of the code that I'm going to show you. All right. Now, if you notice that I have these links right here, okay, that will be helpful to you in understanding data types, flags, and length when trying to obtain the fields of your columns for a database table. Okay, now I am doing this as the database demo for the table users. Okay, so I got a little dot notation right there, as you can see, and that's for future use to where I can have for people a demo database with everything that they need to play and learn database programming with MySQL and PHP. So, give you an example. Let's say for Help C, I'm not sure, I can't remember what this link, but open up a new link, and I'll go to your PHP site, that gives you the code there, and I'm not too sure what that is here, because I can't read it because my screen is dirty probably. And so anyway, it gives you some links there that will help you in understanding certain things about flags. Now this, when you're dealing with flags and data types, dealing with the bits and all that, it's very, very complex. So I'm not going to get into that. I'm just going to give you the basic code and show you it, and also a link to where you can copy the code and use it yourself. And when you save the file, be sure to save the file as a PHP file. Okay. Now, if you notice here that the table head is name. All right, that's the name of the field. Okay, so each field within the table for demo.users is, you'll have, ID will be one field. Okay, the other one will be avatar, the first name, last name, username, user pass, display name, security code, email, the URL, okay, and the registration date. Okay, now in the database, the URL will be the URL to the web page. Okay, the email will be the person's email. The registration date is a MySQL formatted date. Okay, the security code will be the security code for that particular individual that he sets as a security code, or if you want, you can use the security code for what you call captcha code. Okay, in this case, this is for a captcha code. Okay, the display name will be the display name of the user that he will use, and then the user pass is the password, and then his username. Okay, and then you got the first name and the last name, and avatar obviously is the blob. Okay, that's a blob. Okay, now the flags themselves, like I said, it'll take you a long time to figure it out and learn it, and it's really not given on the net where you can do it easily. Okay, because other people like taking shortcuts. But if you play around with the flags and all that, you'll be able to determine based on the flags whether or not you have a blob. Okay, and the blob type. The same thing for the type. Okay, 252 type, but that does not always apply to a blob. It can apply to text fields as well. So, you want to go by the flags, and you have to play with it and write a special program on it. I'm not going to take the time to do it because there's other shortcuts, but this will come in handy. Okay, because if you want to have just the name, the column names, okay, I'll give you a hint on how to do that when I show you the code. Okay, now let's go here. Let me see what I got here. Okay, that's my database. All right, now this is the example code right here. Okay, and you can go to this URL that you see right here on my website, which I'm the administrator for the companynet.com website. Okay, and I'm also the owner of it. Okay, domain and all. So anyway, you can go to that, and when you go, you can go to my programming tips. Currently, the programming tips only has around 300 and something uh, uh, pages in it. Had over 4,000, but I'm working on redoing things, so it'll be a while before I get everything back into it. Okay, but anyway, that's long story short. Okay, so anyway, right here is the code for the CSS right here. Okay, and that's to display your table. Okay, and then here's your basic HTML stuff down here, for the links. But now let's go to the code where you can see the code. Okay. All right. Now, when you do programming in PHP and you're going to connect to a database, okay, always remember you need your opening and closing tags. I cannot stress that. When you save your file, you save it as .php. Okay. Be sure to save as .php. All right. And so you have your opening tag here, and you have your closing tag here. Okay. And when you make a connection to a MySQL database or a Maria database, which this code will work for both, okay, you need your database host, which is localhost. Okay, now right here, you notice the localhost don't have a port number, whereas sometimes I show a port number, okay, which will be 3306 is the default port number. Okay, you will use root, okay, when you're starting out and you don't have an idea how to set a basic password, your root will automatically work. And then you have your database pass, which should always be blank. And then you do the database name that you want to connect to, which is demo. And then your database table, which will be user. Okay. Now this right here is your connection string. Okay. And if there's an error in making a connection, then this code right here will tell you that there's an error, okay, in making a connection, and it'll exit the program with an error and says failed to connect to MySQL database. Okay, now we want to select the table. We call this a select statement. So anyway, when you do the select table, okay, here we got SQL. Some people use CONN. Most of the time I use CONN, but I didn't change it for the purposes of this. Okay, but it's basically a good idea to always use the same one. But I don't, because I deal with a lot of code, and it's a bad habit. But I really need to conform to my own ideas, and rather than use SQL here, okay, I should use CONN. Okay, and yeah, I messed up there. Okay, I mean I should use. I'm getting tired. Boy, did I mess up. Let me see. Look at it down here. All right. What I was actually referring to is this right here. It's, I should use the CONN up here. Forgive me, I made a mistake. I should use the CONN up here. Okay. But anyway, give you a basic example. I'm tired. Forgive me. I'm trying to get a lot of videos up. Okay. So anyway, always make sure that this here matches what's down here. That's what I was basically trying to say. Okay, with your connection string. So I prefer up here to use, instead of this variable here, I intend to use like, the $CONN to identify that's a connection string. Okay, and then this here identifies as a query, an SQL query. So really, this is not the best way of going about it. Okay, but anyway, that's how I have it here. Okay, now I created the variable here, field info, because what I'm interested is in the info on each particular field. Okay, and so the fetch fields is what we're interested in, is fetching the fields from the MySQL database. Okay, so the fields, when you fetch all the fields, okay, you'll end up with your name, your type, your flags, and your length. Okay, and this is called arrow notation right here. All right, but anyway, that's the basic example, and you can copy the code, and as I said, you can see how it links, looks right here. Okay, when you go to the database. All right, and this is how it will look right there. Okay, when you get the link. And I'll provide you with a link in the video where you can copy all this code. And what you want to copy is everything from here all the way down to here. Okay, that's what you want to copy. So you want to copy everything from the very beginning, from here all the way down till you can't go no more. And then you can save that as a PHP file, play with it, and learn how it works. Of course, now you got to have a database by the name of demo, and you got to have a table by the name of users. Okay, and to get the information for the fields that you have in it. So anyway, this is David Cherry giving you a little tip and some code there to play with and work with. I wish you a very good day. Give me a thumbs up if you like my code and the way I'm doing my things. Give me some comments, see what you think. My goal here is not to really give you a full explanation of the code. My goal is to give you the code to work with. So anyway, thank you. You have a good day, and we'll see you later. This is David Cherry, owner and administrator of CompuNet.com.